Economic squeeze may be felt unevenly. Everyone, irrespective of race, class or education, is increasingly concerned about their financial well-being. This is the finding in the COVID-19 Democracy Survey jointly conducted by the University of Johannesburg and the Human Sciences Research Council. The study may lead to greater cross-class support for policy intervention. That's interesting. For more on the story, Karen Runciman joins us now, Associate Professor at the Centre for Social Change at UJ. Professor, good afternoon to you. You say that while the economic squeeze may be felt unevenly, everybody is concerned about their financial well-being. It could be leading, you suggest, to greater cross-class support. What does that mean, and in what respect?
Thanks. Well, yes, that was one of the interesting findings from the survey, that when we asked people about their general concern about the financial impact of COVID-19, that there was very high levels of concern regardless of race, income category or gender. That changed slightly when we analysed the data, when we asked people about their own personal situation. And there, as we would expect, people in lower incomes were much more greatly stressed by the financial impact. But when we asked people about the policy interventions, again, it was very interesting, the convergence between people from different classes, different races. There was very high support, for instance, for providing food parcels to everyone who needs them. And I think that's important, because it wasn't simply restricted to South Africans by nationality, but to everyone who needs them. And also very strong support for something like a basic income grant. And that actually mirrors what other surveys in previous years have been finding, is there is actually strong support for interventions that would go further than what is currently being proposed and undertaken by government.
Other issues that were raised in the survey were the amount of people, or the higher or increasing percentage of those that are going to bed hungry. And also, this has not just affected the poor and vulnerable in South Africa. Better off people are also starting to struggle.
Yes, again, that was one of the very interesting findings, that, of course, as we would expect, those who are experiencing the greatest financial insecurity, the greatest levels of hunger are, of course, amongst lower income groups. But even amongst middle income groups, we saw about a quarter reporting that they've been struggling to pay expenses. And when people were able to give responses about the worst things, often they were talking about things like debit orders bouncing and those kinds of things. But even a minority amongst higher income groups reported hunger. So although the impact is obviously worse amongst lower income groups, it does demonstrate how the impact of COVID-19 is happening across classes.
I want to raise one other issue with you very quickly, and that's the domino effect. There's a 500 billion rand economic stimulus plan, but your analysis says the money is being taken from existing budgets, which is going to have a longer-term consequence on the delivery of services. That is of great concern.
Absolutely. I mean, I think when the 500 billion rand stimulus package was announced, it was very popularly supported. But when you dig into those numbers, a lot of that is about taking back money that was allocated to provinces and municipalities. And this is really, really important, because provinces and municipalities are also tasked with providing the key services that we need during this pandemic, and we need generally. So issues around clean water, and of course some of what has been exposed in the school crisis is that we have schools without clean running water. And by taking money away from provinces, we're actually making it harder for provinces and municipalities to be able to deliver those much needed services. And it means long term we're going to be dealing with the impact of taking away resources from provinces and municipalities at a time when they are most needed.
Thank you very much for joining us. Karen Runciman, Associate Professor at the Centre for Social Change at the University of Johannesburg.